Welcome to ScaleUp Radio Shorts, the podcast brought to you by Smart90, the proven 90-day execution system for scaling businesses. I'm Kevin Brent.
And I'm Granger Forson. Each month, we dive deep into a critical aspect of scaling up from our entrepreneurial scale-up system, designed to help ambitious owner-managers achieve predictable growth.
This month, we're tackling a topic that's absolutely vital for any business looking to grow beyond its current limits. Leads in, sales out, how to build funnels that work.
It's more than just a marketing buzzword. Understanding and implementing effective sales funnels is truly a foundational piece of your scale-up infrastructure. It's about creating a predictable stream of clients and revenue, freeing you from those feast or famine cycles. We'll be breaking down why so many funnels fail and how to build ones that actually deliver.
So, Granger, let's just get straight to it. Why do most sales funnels, despite all the hype and the endless tools, seem to just fall flat for so many businesses?
You've hit on a crucial point, Kevin. It's often because they're overcomplicated, disjointed, or built around what we call vanity metrics, things that look good on paper, but don't actually lead to revenue. Businesses might see lots of inquiries coming in, but then scratch their heads wondering why so few of them actually convert into paying customers.
And this isn't just a marketing problem, is it? It really goes deeper than that.
Exactly. The core issue often isn't the marketing tactics themselves, but a fundamental misunderstanding of how to sell. If a business owner can't confidently articulate their value proposition and guide someone manually through the sales process, an automated funnel won't magically fix that. Funnels are, at their heart, just automated sales systems. They can't compensate for what hasn't been figured out manually.
So it's about understanding the language that sells your product, which comes from actually engaging in the sales process first. We've heard it time and again from business owners struggling with this.
Absolutely. Take Steve Whittle from Integrity Cleaning Services, for example. He said, "We get loads of inquiries, but hardly any turn into real work." Or Jonathan Horan from Studio B, who lamented, "We relied too long on word of mouth. Sales became really lumpy." And Laura Foster from the Business Design House experienced, "Our website looked nice, but no one actually clicked through to book a call."
These aren't just marketing issues, they're scale-limiting constraints caused by misaligned or broken funnels. It underscores the point that without a solid understanding of your sales process, even the most beautiful website or clever ad won't deliver the predictable stream of clients that a scaling business needs.
Building on that, Kevin, it's crucial for businesses to see funnels not as some kind of marketing fluff, but as fundamental infrastructure for scaling. Within the entrepreneurial scale-up system, or ESUS, our entire focus is on identifying and fixing scaling constraints. And when we look at growing SMEs, marketing and sales consistently emerge as two of the biggest hurdles.
So it's about much more than just attracting eyeballs or getting inquiries. It's about building a robust system that supports sustained growth.
Precisely. A strong funnel isn't just a nice to have, it's the connective tissue that bridges the gap between initial awareness and actual conversion. When done correctly, it liberates businesses from those unpredictable feast and famine cycles. It injects a level of predictability into growth that's otherwise impossible.
That makes perfect sense. Without a predictable way to generate and convert leads, growth remains an aspiration rather than a planned outcome. And I imagine this ties directly into our Smart90 system, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. That's why we emphasize that funnel design isn't some standalone project or an annual review item. It's directly linked to your quarterly focus areas within Smart90. It's embedded into your planning rhythm. This ensures that optimizing your funnels becomes an ongoing strategic priority, not just something you get to when you have spare time, which, let's be honest, rarely happens for a scaling business owner.
So, by integrating funnel optimization into their Smart90 plan, business owners can ensure they're consistently working on this vital infrastructure, making growth more predictable and manageable. It moves it from a theoretical idea to a practical, actionable part of their business rhythm. That's the key, Granger. It's about moving from theory to practice, and part of that practice involves fundamentally shifting our perspective on sales funnels. We often talk about AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, action, but we need to reframe it. It's not about what we want to say, it's about what the buyer experiences.
Absolutely. So, while AIDA still applies, the lens through which we view each stage needs to be flipped. From the buyer's side, awareness isn't necessarily about them discovering your brand, it's about them discovering their pain. Your job, as the business owner, is to shine a light on that pain, articulate it clearly for them.
And then interest follows. Once they're problem aware, they start absorbing more information. They're doing their research, looking for solutions, but they're not necessarily ready to buy from you yet. They're just exploring the landscape.
Exactly. Then comes desire, where they begin to connect their specific pain to your specific solution. They start to explore you as a potential fit. And finally, action. This is the point where they are truly ready to act, ready to make a purchase.
And this brings us to a crucial insight from the booklet. Only about 3% of people are actively ready to buy now. If you build your entire funnel solely for that 3%, you're missing out on a massive 97% of your potential audience who are in those earlier stages of awareness or interest.
That's a huge blind spot for many businesses. It's not just about getting leads in, it's about getting the right leads. If you're attracting time wasters, inquiries for things you don't sell, or just price shoppers, that's a lead quality problem. Your funnel might be working, but it's working on the wrong people.
Precisely. The solution isn't to prevent all leaks, but to create escape valves that allow the wrong fit clients to self-qualify out. This starts at the very top of your funnel and is fundamental to its quality.
So, the fix involves 3 key actions. First, clearly defining your ideal client profile. Who are you truly trying to serve? Second, using messaging that repels the wrong fit as much as it attracts the right one. It's about being very clear about who you are, not for.
And third, implementing early qualification. This can be through simple forms, initial intro calls, or even scorecards. Thinking about frameworks like BANT, budget, authority, need, time frame, can really help here. The goal is to ensure that by the time someone reaches your sales team, they're already a high-quality, pre-qualified lead. Building on that point about qualifying leads early, Granger, it really brings us to the next critical step, diagnosing any blockages and leaks within your funnel. Because even with the right leads, if your funnel's broken, they're just going to fall out.
Precisely, every funnel, no matter how well designed, will have blockages or leaks somewhere. Your job isn't to create a perfectly sealed system from day one, but to identify where the biggest leaks are and then strategically remove or plug them.
And the document highlights some really common issues. For example, if you're getting lots of leads but very few conversions, that often points to a message mismatch or a weak call to action. People are interested enough to inquire, but something isn't resonating or guiding them forward effectively.
Or if people are engaged with your content but not actually buying, that often indicates a lack of urgency or unclear next steps. They like what they see, but they don't know what to do next or why they should do it now. And let's not forget the risk of relying on just one lead generation channel, which can lead to sales lumpiness.
Absolutely. The key here, again, is the Smart 90 rhythm. You shouldn't wait until it's too late to realize your funnel is underperforming. Weekly checks on performance allow you to catch these issues early and make necessary adjustments.
That leads us nicely into what actually makes a funnel work. And the answer is deceptively simple: simplicity itself. The booklet gives a great quote. We just added one landing page and a Calendly link, and suddenly people booked. It doesn't have to be overly complex.
That's right. It's about matching your funnel to the customer's awareness level. If you have warm Google traffic, they're already searching for a solution, so a simple conversion path might work perfectly. But if it's cold Facebook traffic, they need more nurturing and education before they're ready to buy. Your funnel should meet them where they are, not where you expect them to be.
The document provides a great checklist for what makes a funnel actually work, emphasizing this simplicity. First, you need a clear lead magnet, something valuable that attracts your ideal client.
Second, a simple opt-in or booking step. Reduce friction wherever possible. If it's too complicated, people will drop off.
Third, fast follow-up. This is absolutely crucial. When someone takes an action, they expect a quick response. Momentum is everything.
And finally, a value-led sales conversation. This is where your sales team takes over, but the funnel has set them up for success by attracting the right lead and guiding them through the initial stages with value. It's about building trust and demonstrating how you solve their specific pain. That checklist for a working funnel is really powerful because it boils down to practical, actionable steps. And speaking of practicality, our next point is about leveraging technology and focusing on the metrics that truly matter. It's easy to get bogged down in tech, isn't it?
Absolutely, Kevin. The biggest mistake businesses make is thinking they need all the bells and whistles of a CRM or automation system right from the start. The booklet's advice is spot on. Don't start with tech. Start by selling manually. Write personal emails. Track follow-ups in a notebook if you have to.
That manual process is critical because it forces you to understand your customers, their pain points, and the language that actually converts them. Only once you have a working manual process should you look to scale it with tools.
Exactly. Once you've proven your process, then you can bring in systems like Go High Level, which we use, or HubSpot, Pipedrive, or even just simple email sequences and Zapier automations. The mantra here is simple systems over complicated excuses. Automation should support a proven process, not replace a non-existent one.
And once you're scaling, you need to know if it's actually working. This brings us to metrics. It's so easy to get lost in a sea of data, but the booklet wisely advises focusing on only the ones that truly matter, especially in the early stages of scaling.
Right. Forget the dashboards that look like mission control. Focus on a handful of metrics that genuinely guide decisions. The first one is conversion rate per stage. Where are people dropping off in your funnel? Is it from awareness to interest or interest to decision?
Knowing your conversion rate at each stage allows you to pinpoint the exact leakage and fix it. Then there's time to convert. How long does it take to move someone from their first touch to a sale? This gives you insights into your sales cycle efficiency.
And probably the most critical financial metric, LTV to CAC. Is the lifetime value of a customer worth more than the cost to acquire them, essentially? And if your acquisition cost is higher than the value they bring, then you've got a fundamental business problem, not just a funnel problem.
These are the metrics that drive action. What you should ignore are vanity metrics. The booklet gives examples like raw traffic numbers if they don't convert, email open rates without follow-up action, or social media likes if people aren't clicking or buying.
Those numbers might look good on a report, but they don't tell you if your business is actually growing predictably. Metrics should always inform your next step and drive real improvement, not just decorate your reporting.
Granger, our discussion on metrics leads us naturally to understanding why people convert, or more often, why they don't. It's not just about the numbers, there's a powerful psychology at play.
You're absolutely right, Kevin. The booklet makes a crucial point. People buy emotionally first, then rationalize it afterwards. You can have the best product in the world, but if people don't trust you, feel seen, or believe you understand their pain, they simply won't bite.
So the funnel needs to build trust, not just with logical arguments, but with empathy, proof, and consistency. How do we achieve that in the funnel?
It starts with sharing testimonials that speak directly to the same pain your prospect is feeling, providing case studies or examples that show what's possible for them, and using simple risk reversal offers, like a guarantee or a trial period.
And I love the point about exclusivity. Instead of the cliche, only 2 seats left, the booklet suggests a more genuine approach. We work with a small group of founder-led businesses at a time. Exclusivity is powerful, but only when it's real and relevant to your audience.
Exactly. It's about making them feel understood and valued, rather than just another number. This emotional connection is what truly drives conversion, and once you've tapped into that, you need to refine it.
Which brings us to the concept of simple iteration and testing. For many growing businesses, the idea of A/B testing everything can feel overwhelming. We're not Google, and we don't have endless budgets.
That's the reality. Most of us are wearing multiple hats. So the key is not to try and test everything. We have limited time and money, so we need to use them wisely. The advice is to pick one thing in your funnel, tweak it, observe the result, and then tweak again. That's the rhythm.
It's that consistent, small improvement that makes a big difference. The booklet shares examples like a founder changing a subject line and doubling open rates, or simplifying a landing page and seeing conversions jump. Even changing the color of a call to action button can have an immediate impact.
These aren't massive overhauls, but focused adjustments based on what you observe. This is where your Smart 90 rhythm truly earns its keep. You can build weekly funnel tweaks right into your plan and log them in your smart dashboard. It becomes a continuous cycle of improvement.
And that's how true scale happens. Small improvements done consistently stack up over time. It reminds me of the quote from Eddie Cantor: "It's taken me 20 years to become an overnight success." It's not about one big fix. It's about persistent, iterative refinement.
Kevin, we've talked a lot about getting leads in and converting them into sales. But the truth is, the funnel doesn't actually stop when they say yes.
Absolutely, Granger. This is such a critical point that often gets overlooked. The customer's experience after buying feeds directly back into the top of the funnel. Happy clients refer new business and frustrated ones, well, they warn others away.
Exactly. That's why the booklet emphasizes tracking the Net Promoter Score, or NPS, at key points. It's a way to keep your funnel honest by understanding how your customers truly feel.
And it suggests asking for NPS right after onboarding, at the 3-month milestone, and at the end of delivery or engagement. This gives you consistent touchpoints to gather feedback.
And the questions are straightforward. What delighted them? What disappointed them? And what would they tell a friend? These insights are gold. They help you tighten your delivery and amplify what's working well, which in turn brings in more of the right leads.
So it's a closed-loop system. Improving the post-sale experience directly improves the pre-sale attraction. It's about building a reputation that generates referrals and keeps the funnel full organically.
It really is. And to wrap this up, the booklet gives us a final reflection funnel scorecard to assess how well we're actually doing. It asks some pointed questions that every business owner should consider regularly.
Such as, do we have a clear documented funnel? Do we know where our biggest leak is? Are we tracking conversions weekly? Are we qualifying leads before booking sales calls? And are we improving our funnel each quarter? These are fundamental questions for sustainable growth.
And from that reflection, it leads into actionable steps for your next 90 days. It keeps it simple. Pick one stage to improve, tighten your follow-up, and add key funnel metrics to your Smart 90.
So it brings it back to our core system. Integrating funnel improvement into the Smart 90 rhythm makes it a consistent practice, not a one-off project. It's about constant vigilance and refinement.
And it suggests considering joining a Smart Board or Community Summit to get even more from the entrepreneurial scale-up system for that deeper support and accountability.
Well, Granger, this has been an incredibly insightful discussion on building funnels that actually work. It really drills down to the core message from the booklet.
It does, Kevin. The final word section really hammers it home. Funnels aren't just marketing fluff.
Exactly, they are in fact essential scale-up infrastructure.
When you build them simply, when you iterate on them consistently, they truly free business owners from being the bottleneck. They fuel the growth you've been working so hard for.
It's about working smarter, not just harder. Getting those leads in and converting them effectively is what transforms a good business into a great scalable one.
That's a perfect way to put it. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Scale Up Radio Shorts.
We hope that this deep dive into leads in, sales out, how to build funnels at work, has given you practical insights that you can apply to your business.
Thank you for tuning in to Scale Up Radio Shorts, brought to you by Smart 90, the proven 90-day execution system for scaling businesses.
To find out more about how Smart 90 can help you to implement these strategies and others and drive consistent results, then just visit smart90.co.uk. And we look forward to having you join us next time on ScaleUp Radio Shorts.